Alrighty, so we'll start in our comfortable seated position today. And we'll close our eyes. And we'll find those sitting bones underneath of us. Take a few deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouths. If we can let go of some tension that we might be holding in our bodies, any expectations we may have of ourselves or of our practice. Let go of judgment and competition. Remind ourselves to listen to our bodies as we go through our practice. And we'll seal our lips. Inhale and exhale through our nose. We'll inhale, lift our hands up to the sky. Reaching with our fingers, lowering the shoulders away from our ears. Breathing in all the way down into our bellies. And then exhale, we'll just tilt over to the right. We'll lower that right hand down to our mats, reaching up and over with the left. And inhale, we'll come up. And exhale over to the other side. And inhale, we'll come up. And now exhale, little forward fold, just round in the spine as we lower our arms down to the ground. Release the head. And then inhale, we'll roll our way up. All the way up to the sky with those hands. And then exhale, we'll just do this a couple of times. Exhale, fold forward and round. And roll our way up on the inhale. And exhaling down. And rolling our way up. Hands come up high. And now exhale, let's turn to the right and we can lower our hands down for a little twist. Left hand can find the thigh, right hand finds the floor behind us. And back to the center. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. Good. And back around to the center. Let's just take one breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And now, usually when we cross our legs, it's always in the same direction. So we're just going to switch those around. It will feel a little weird, and that's okay. Find those sitting bones again. Inhale, let's lift our hands up high. And we'll do all of that again with our legs across the other direction. So let's exhale to the side. We'll go over to the left. Left hand goes down, right hand reaches up and over. And inhale, we come up. And exhale over to the other side. And back up to the top. Lengthen on that inhale, and then exhale, we'll fold forward. And inhale, we'll roll our way up. All the way up to the top. And then 2 more times. Exhaling, folding. We'll feel probably this crisscross change a lot in our hips as we fold. Inhaling up. And 1 more time. Exhaling down. Good. Inhaling up. Hands come up high, lengthen. And now let's turn to the left. Little twist. And back around to the center. Nice and high with those arms. Lots of space in our spine. Exhale to the right. And then inhaling back to the center. Exhale, hands come down to our knees. Let's take 1 full breath here. And then we'll roll over our shins. We'll come into our tabletop, onto our hands and our knees. Fingers are wide, pressing into our mats equally, pulling those shoulders back. Tuck the tail just a little bit, breathing all around into that core. And then exhale, we'll round into our cat. And inhale, cow, dropping that tummy, lifting the heart. Exhaling, cat. Inhaling, cow. And exhaling. And arching. Let's do 1 more of each. And then back to that neutral spine. This should be a little bit of work. Tabletop is not one of those really passive things where we just like hang out. Tuck that tail, use our abs and our back muscles to be nice and supportive of that spine. Good. Pressing into our fingers, we're going to tuck those toes right underneath of where those feet are, and we're going to lift the knees just a little bit. And then exhale down. And 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. And exhale down. Inhaling and exhaling. Cool. Keeping that good, strong spine. Let's lift those hips up a little bit higher. We're going to keep a bent knee and a straight back, not quite down dog, and then exhale back down. And inhale up and exhale down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Think about keeping a flat back all throughout our movement. So we're only hinging in the shoulders and the hips. Let's do one more. Inhale up, strong, and exhaling down. Beautiful job. We can soften those feet if we like. Let's lift up our left hand, opening wide. And then exhale, we'll thread that needle, placing that arm on the ground underneath of our right arm. Hips stay over our knees. Good. Unwinding back to our tabletop. And then we'll lift up that right hand. And you guessed it, we'll thread it through the other side. Good. And then coming on back to the tabletop. Good. And now let's walk those hands out just like a little bit ahead of our shoulders. Good. And then we'll bring those shoulders forward so we'll be in a little tiny plank. And again, same thing. Keep a nice long spine here. No drooping. Lengthen, proud heart. And now hinging at those hips. Pressing back. And then inhale, we come forward. Exhaling back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Do one more. Inhale forward. And back. And inhale, we'll come forward to that little plank. And then exhale, lower down to our tummies. Hands are underneath of our shoulders. As we inhale, we'll scoop that chest forward and then up into a little cobra. And then press all the way back to child's pose. We can round in the spine, relax in the shoulders. Inhale up to our little plank. Exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale to our little cobra. And press all the way back to our child's pose. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Open that heart. And press back to our child's pose. Take a full breath here. Arms are out in front of us. Again, starfish hands pressing into each finger and then just barely lifting from the inside of the palm, almost like we're making a little tiny dome, tiny, tiny dome, so that we're really engaged in those fingers in the very back heel of our hand. And then we'll tuck those toes again underneath of our butts, opening up those feet, stretching out our toes, our ankles, keeping our hands and feet where they are. Let's lift those hips, bend the knees, pedal the legs, and we'll begin to wiggle our way into a downward facing dog. Pulling the shoulders away from our ears and from our wrists, lifting our tails up to the sky, bending our knees if we need to keep that nice straight back. Strong shoulders, good strong core. And then let's make our way up to the top of our mat. Feet can come inside of our hands into a forward fold. Inhale, let's roll our way up. Hands come up to the sky. Exhale, let's sit down into our chair. Big circles with those arms. Get those shoulders a-moving. Thighs come together. Lengthen all in that low back, sitting low with the butt, lifting with the chest. Good. Inhale. Big circles with those arms again. And now exhale, cactus arms. Lift the heart. Inhaling up. And now let's bring those arms back behind us for a chest expansion. Pulling the shoulders back and down. Lifting the heart. Good. Releasing the hands. Inhaling up. Exhale. Big circles with those arms, sitting down into the chair. Inhaling up. Little arch in the back as we open up cactus arms. Inhale back up. Exhale, chest expansion. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, big circle, sitting down into that chair. Feel the core start to working. The thighs are working. Backs are long. Inhaling up. Cactus arms, little back bend. And up. And chest expansion, pulling the shoulders back. Opening all in front of that chest. Good. Inhaling up. Let's soften the knees, fold forward. Drop the head. Bend the knees if we need to. And now let's inhale, flat back, long legs. Exhaling, fold. Let's take that left foot back for a lunge. And we'll lower the knee down into a low lunge. Good. Inhale, bringing the hands up high. And then exhale, let's sink those hips down a little bit more. Open the chest for crescent lunge. Good. Exhaling down. Keeping that left hand on the floor, lifting the right. Little twist. And back down. And now let's tuck that left foot and lift into a full lunge. Now I'll do some little cat and cow lunges here. So as we exhale, we'll round in the spine and begin to lengthen in this right leg. We won't get all the way long. And then as we inhale, we'll bend this left leg behind us, arching the spine a little bit. Exhale, we'll round in the spine, lengthen in the legs. Inhale, bend and arch. Good. Exhaling. And lifting that chest. Good. One more time. Exhaling. And inhaling. And then we'll just find that regular lunge again, lengthening that left leg back behind us. Good. And now, finding our balance, pressing into our feet. Let's open up warrior two. Placing that left heel down onto the ground, bending the right knee. And then remember to move it over toward that pinky toe side of the right foot. Shoulders are over our hips, core is strong, tail is tucked, neck is long. And now inhale, lengthen that right leg, extended reverse warrior. And exhale back down. Inhale again. Good, and now all the way to side angle. Good, inhale again, lengthen in that leg. Keep the leg long, let's spill over into triangle. Good, inhaling up. We're gonna keep turned toward the left. Both toes are gonna point the same direction. Inhale high, and then soften the knees, folding forward. Wide forward fold here. Good, and then inhaling high. Bringing our hands to our hearts, we'll bend that left knee and come on over to the side. Inhaling up. And then we'll turn all the way around to the tops of our mat into our lunge. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into our plank. Again, plank can be on our toes, on our knees. Exhale, chests go forward, elbows go back, lowering down. Inhale. We can do a little cobra or an upward facing dog. And then we'll tuck those toes, lift the hips for downward facing dog. Good, let's lower the knees down to our mat. We can soften the feet and find ourselves in child's pose for one breath. Arms are out in front of us. Let's inhale up to our tabletop. We'll tuck the toes, find those hands underneath of our shoulders. Engage the core. Inhale, lift the knees just a little bit. And exhale down. And inhale just a little bit. Keep that core strong. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. And now inhale. Let's lift up into like a bear crawl position. Not quite downward facing dog. Keeping a nice straight back. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And back. And down. Good, let's come all the way to downward facing dog. We'll look forward, make our way to the top of our mat. And roll our way up. Reaching high with those fingers. And then as we exhale, big circle, sitting down into our chair. And inhaling up. Cactus arms as we exhale, little arch in the back. Inhale up. Exhale, bringing those hands back behind us. We can hold the ball or hold our hands or our elbows. Inhale up. Big circle sitting down into our chair. Inhale up. Exhale. Cactus arms, little back bend. Inhale up. And then exhale. Hands behind. Chest expansion. Releasing the hands. Inhale up. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, round with the arms. Good, tight core. Inhale up. Back bend. Hand up. Chest expansion. And releasing. Hands come up high. Let's exhale, forward, forward. Bending the knees if we need. Let's inhale to a flat back, long leg so hands can come to our shins or our thighs. And then exhale down, stepping back with the right foot. And then we'll lower that right knee down for a half lunge. Wiggle our way into it. When we're ready, inhaling high for crescent lunge. Hips come forward, hearts lift, arms come back. Good, exhaling down. Right hand stays on the floor, left hand comes up. And exhaling down. Good, tucking that right toe for full lunge. And now cat and cow lunges. So exhale, we'll round and begin to lengthen our legs. Inhale, we'll bend and arch. Exhale, we'll round and lengthen. Good. Bending the knees and arching. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching. Let's do one more of each. Exhaling. And inhaling. And then let's just find that regular lunge. Good. And now we'll lower that right heel. Find our balance. Come on up, warrior two. Good. Inhale, lengthen that left leg, reaching high for extended reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen, reaching high with that left hand. And now exhaling, side angle. Inhaling up. Now keeping this left leg long, shifting the hips, reaching forward, and spilling over for triangle. Good. Inhaling. Nice and high. Turning to the right. I'll turn around so that you don't see just my butt. Inhale up. And then exhale. Let's fold forward. Good. Inhaling up. Hands come together at our hearts. And now we'll bend with that right knee, coming on over for a side lunge here. And then inhaling back up. We'll turn toward the top of our mat. and come down to our lunge. Let's step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into our plank. Exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale, we can do cobra or upward facing dog. Let's tuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Good. From here, let's find good strong points with our hands and our feet. Good. Shoulders and core. We're going to take our right hand off of the mat, reach back and touch the outside of the foot or the leg on the left hand side, crossing the body. Good. And back to our down dog. Other side, left hand to right leg. And back to our down dog. Let's lift up the right leg. Bend the knee, bringing it into our chest, hovering forward in plank. And then exhale back to three-legged dog. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Now inhale forward. We're going to bring that right knee to the right elbow. Good. And back. And now let's cross over to the other side. And back. And now let's have a little treat by bringing that knee into our chest and coming forward for a pigeon. We won't be here for a ton of time. But we'll have a few breaths here in pigeon. Now coming up onto our hands, if we are not there already, right hand is going to stay on the floor. We'll bend that left leg, reach back with the left hand, finding that foot, bringing it in towards our glute. And releasing. Tuck that left toe as it comes down, pressing into the hands. Let's step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to our plank. Flowing through our vinyasa sequence, lowering down. Inhale to a little back bend. Tuck the toes, press back. Finding good equal footing, both hands, both feet. And now, right hand comes to the left foot, to the outside of that leg or the foot. And back. And other side, left hand to the right foot or leg. And back. And now let's lift up the left leg, three-legged dog. And then we'll bring that knee into our chest, hover in plank, and back. And again, coming on forward, and back. And now let's touch our elbows once on the left, and back. And once on the right, and back. And now we'll bring it into the chest and we'll set up for pigeon. Lowering the knee behind that left wrist, softening the leg behind us. Good. And if we are not already on our hands, we'll come up onto our hands. We'll bend that right knee, reaching back with the right hand, gathering up the foot and bringing it in toward the glute. Glute. And we'll gently release that right leg, tucking the toes, it comes down, pressing into both hands. Let's lift up and step back for downward facing dog. Good. Let's inhale forward. Exhale down. Inhale to a back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. But then this time, let's just come all the way back down onto our tummy, softening the feet behind us. Our arms just can rest in like a goalpost. We can even put them underneath of our head. Take a breath or two here. Good. And now, again, we can have goalpost arms if we would like, or if it feels better to put our hands underneath of our heads, that's perfectly acceptable. And now we're just going to bend that right knee like we want to kick ourselves in the butt, and then we'll lift it up and begin to take that right leg across the body like we want to touch the floor on the left-hand side or the couch if you're in my situation. Keeping the shoulders soft and into our mats. And then exhale, we'll lower back down. Inhale, we'll come over to the other side, left leg. Kicks ourselves in the bum and then begins to try and touch the floor on the opposite side. And back. Do that a couple times on each side. Inhale, right leg. And exhaling down. Inhale, left leg. And exhaling down. Inhale, last time, right leg. And exhaling down. And last one, left leg. And back. Good. And now from here, we'll be in our goalpost arms. So remove them out from underneath of our heads if that's where they were. We're going to press into our left hand and lift the chest up. We'll thread the needle again with the right arm. And then press into the left hand, unwind back to our goalpost. And then press into the right hand, threading through with the left. And then press, unwind. Good. Bring those hands underneath of our shoulders, and we'll push our way back into a child's pose. Nice wide child's pose here. Bring those knees out so that we can sink the hips down. The chest has space to lower. Good. And now let's swish those feet over to one side so that we can lower our butts down and come up into seated. And we'll go all the way back to our easy cross-legged position here. Good. And then it's going to take our left hand and we're just going to begin to walk it across around, little twist here in the spine so that we can touch the outside of that right hip or thigh. Lengthen on those inhales as we twist, and on the exhale. Once we have that twist set where we want it to be, we're going to begin to lower the left shoulder down toward this left knee. We'll lift up the right hand. We can reach it up and over, or we can like touch the back of the head like we're just so relaxed. So we're still twisting. We're lowering that shoulder, opening on the outside of the right body. And then on the next inhale, we'll lift and unwind. Good. Bringing our hands up over our heads. And now exhale, let's fold forward, reaching nice and long with our hands this time. Keeping a good flat back as we fold forward. And then we'll drop the head, roll our way up. And we'll switch the cross on our feet again. Lengthen on that inhale, and we'll walk our hands around. Right hand finds the outside of the hip or the thigh. Find that twist where we're most happy to be. And then once that's set, we'll lower the right shoulder down toward that right knee. Left hand can reach up and over, can touch the back of the head if we would like. Keeping the twist, lengthening so that we don't crunch up on these inside ribs. And then on our next inhale, We'll raise up, unwind. Exhale, and then inhale, lifting high. And exhale, let's fold forward again, bringing that chest forward. Arms are out in front of us. Creepy crawl those fingers. And then lower the head, round, and roll our way up. Good. We'll uncross those legs, feet come out in front of us. We'll roll up into our little ball, and we'll rock back onto our backs. Good. Let's hug those knees tightly into our bodies. We'll release the left leg, hug that right knee in towards our chest. Relax the head and shoulders if we can, in towards our mat. Good. And then let's release that right leg. Both legs can come up to the sky for waterfall pose. Just barely touching behind those hamstrings or the knees. And then we'll bend and hug them tightly again. And then we'll release that right leg, hugging that left leg in towards us. And then again, releasing that left leg. Both legs can come up for waterfall, flexing the feet. Feel that whole spine pressing into our mats. No big arches, big spaces. Might be little spaces. Good. And now let's bend the knees. We'll bring the soles of our feet together, open the knees wide, and we'll lower those legs down to our mats for reclined, butterfly, or bound angle. Let gravity help those knees down toward our mats. Our shoulders and our heads are so relaxed and soft. And now, if you are happy here, you are more than welcome to take your Shavasana in this position. Or if you would like, you can release those legs, let them come long. we close our eyes and just give ourselves the A-OK to be still for a few minutes, to enjoy the quiet and the peace. And when you are ready, may not be right now, we'll deepen our breath. Bring little movements into our body. We slowly come back into our space. We can bring our knees into our chest, roll over onto our side, keeping our eyes closed. We'll slowly help ourselves up to seated. Wherever we land is perfect. Take a second or two to check in with how we are feeling after our practice and after our Shavasana. We'll bring our hands together at our hearts, bowing to ourselves. Thanking us for all of the gifts that we just gave us today. And I am so grateful that you shared your time with me today. You allowed me to help you through your practice. It's always my honor and privilege to be able to hopefully help you to feel better. I wish you all a very, very happy day. The light in the divine in me recognizes and respects the light and the divine in each of you. And when we are together, whether physically or virtually, we are one. Namaste.